most popular class, and Arfdota already leading off with that Warlock, and we see right now it's a mech-based Warlock.
Probably yes.
From
The
Tinkerton
Tinkerton technician says that, right? Alright?
Oh man, I'm finally getting to see a mech-based deck in action. I'm really happy for, that Arfdota brought something like that to the table. And Amaz is looking to stop that Warlock aggression with that Warrior deck, but Amaz actually does not know what he's facing here.
Yep, he has to guess. Is it a handlock? Is it a zoo? Is it a demon lock? Or maybe it's a new iteration of zoo like mech deck. Yeah. So many different kind of warlock can be played here. Oh look! A hobgoblin!
Oh my goodness!
We were talking about hobgoblin yesterday with Ecop and making some theories in what kind of decks can be used, and of course Zoo is one of the contender here.
Yeah, hobgoblin is such a very powerful card in that Zoo deck, especially because all the one drops or one attack minions, let's say to be precise, that might end up being useless top decks are getting so much more powerful if you have Hobgoblin on the board.
For sure, for sure. Blood Mage Thalnos?
Oh, Blood Mage Thalnos.
That's an interesting addition.
So yeah, I mean, it makes sense because it is enabled by the Hobgoblin, and it also buffs Undertakers at the same time.
Look at this. Now Amaz will be forced to use Slam and Execute. Oh no, sorry. I thought he will be playing the Hobgoblin now because he used the coin.
What is also interesting to note here is that Arfdota decided not to play double Undertaker on turn 1, so they can maybe snowball out control with the turn 2 Creeper and the turn 3 Harvest Golem. Maybe he was afraid of Cleave. I don't know.
Well, we don't know his deck yet. Maybe he's he has some different options. I'm not sure. Well, he can still buff. His board is still really stable at this point of the game. He can just clear the sheep with whatever he wants. He still will have a minion from the golem. If he chooses the golem to attack to the sheep, maybe he will just ignore it. I'm not sure.
I feel like ignoring the sheep is not what you want to do actually, because you want to after you kill the sheep, you can play more minions. But if you play more minions and ignore the sheep, then the sheep just gets that much more value.
Definitely.
I think that you have to kill the sheep here.
You sacrifice the golem here, right? You will still get a golem from the damage golem you will get, will be remaining on the table, and your Undertaker will be still alive and healthy at 2 points if you follow up the turn with a Hunted Creeper or Blood Mage Thanos, but he might be opting to play the Hobgoblin.
Yeah, the Hobgoblin is definitely a big threat right now. We see in Arfdota's hand there is Haunted Creeper and Blood Mage Thanos and Undertaker. But all of them get enabled.
Now, Amaz has to find a way to actually kill both Hobgoblin and Undertaker.
He definitely sees Hobgoblin as the bigger threat here, and rightfully so, judging from Arfdota's hand. This Hobgoblin would have been insane if it survived.
Yep. It's kinda sad that he didn't wait with the Hobgoblin.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you could have gone for the... I personally would have gone for the Undertaker
with Hunted Creeper
Thanos or Undertaker
Thanos,
Haunted Creeper play. I think that would have been a little bit safer.
That's true.
So yeah, we definitely see right now that... yeah, Micro Machine also is a great card with mech synergy.
If he would just wait with the Hobgoblin to turn 5, and that would be Hobgoblin, Micro Machine, and Micro Machine would be 3-4, that would some insane value. Oh, look at this.
It's still okay for Arfdota though, because look at how much pressure he has on the board, and Amaz is kind of running out of solutions to clear boards here.
And his hand is clocked.
Yeah, the only remaining card that can clear the board here is the Deathbite Death Rattle. So yeah, I mean, this is Amaz definitely in a tough spot here. There's so much pressure still for Arfdota in his hand, with the Doomguard especially.
I think you go with Undertaker, Hunted Creeper, and but first Life Tap maybe. You don't want to play Defender Augurs right here, or maybe you do. Maybe you do play the Defender Augurs. The Blood Mage Thanos is not easily killed by the weapon there with the Death Rattle, and Amaz will be forced to use the Execute.
Let's just say if Arfdota was gonna life tap, then he should have done it first. to get maybe
he's-
a better option.
Yeah.
But yeah, Leperno was not one of those. I think the play still would have been Undertaker, Haunted.
Maybe he just knows his deck so well that he didn't want to live tap first anyway.
What is also important to note now is that the Haunted Creeper got played after the Deathbite, which is why if the Deathbite would attack the Haunted Creeper here, the Spiderlings would not die to the Deathbite Death Rattle. And
True.
but yeah, the Deathbite is definitely going to attack the Undertaker here, you would assume.
The problem is that there are two Undertakers, and one can be rid of with Execute, but you want to keep the Execute for the Doomguard that can be played in the upcoming turns.
Okay, so Cheat Slam is going to kill off the Haunted Creeper, and I assume that he's going to attack the smaller Undertaker
Yeah, and Execute the bigger
and
one.
execute the big one. That's
Good
definitely what we're
move,
seeing here.
but he's kinda defenseless against a Doomguard here.
Yeah, there's no more solutions against Doomguard. But Doomguard is actually not a good play here because it will discard cards, and those are kind of cards that you might need.
So we'll see here live tap into Leper Gnome or Harvest Golem, both are good, but then you're delaying the Doomguard anyway.
Yeah, the fact that this deck is based around mechs makes the deck more clunky than regular zoo decks that we have seen in the past. Therefore, the Doomguard is actually a little bit worse than in other decks because it will always discard cards, it seems.
Oh, that's a waste.
Arfdota is actually willing to take that sacrifice of discarding some cards just to have this Doomguard on the board and apply a lot of pressure.
Dr. Boom. Well, it's kinda a good answer to Doomguard. He got exactly 7 points of attack.
Yeah, it's true, but it doesn't do anything immediately when it enters the board, so it gives the zoo player right now an extra turn to deal additional damage. There's 7 damage on the board right now, 16 health for the warrior. It's still enough to survive. There's probably nothing that Arfdota can draw that wins him the game here, but he can apply a lot of pressure, and we will see how Amaz is able to clear the board next turn, hopefully.
He has to spawn the board, play Leper Gnome, Harvest Golem, and go face. There's no other way to win this match.
So many possibilities.
Right? You can play Tinkerton here because you got no max and the value with Harvest Golem is just much better, and maybe you will still have a mech in the next turn. And also, what is worth noting that there are double Leper Gnomes on board, which is 4 points of damage.
It is true. However,
There's an Alexstrasza.
Amaz has a great play here. He can attack the Doomguard first of all with Dr. Boom, then kill off the Leper Gnomes with the Boom bots, and
Most probably
even
hit the golems.
even if he takes a bunch of damage here, then he still has Shield Maiden plus Armor Up to get additional health and survive one more turn, to then drop the Alexstrasza to heal himself back up to 15.
He goes with an other play, which is even better. He kills the golem, then most probably he will kill also the damaged golem that is remaining from the death rattle.
That is absolutely true. He gains a little bit less armor this way, but I mean,
Oh, that was so close to
lethal.
lethal.
The Shield Maiden should be enough to
And
survive.
also a great move to first kill the Leper Gnomes and then play the armor, because the armor is not being counted for the Alexstrasza heal.
Yeah, that's what I've been talking about. First kill the Leper Gnomes, then armor up, and so that Alexstrasza get full heal value. Right now, Arfdota doesn't have anything really to punch through some damage. Warrior will be able to stabilize next turn, and that has to be like pretty much the game, I think. There's no way for Warlock to come back from that spot.
I think so too. If there will be no Alexstrasza in Amaz deck, in Amaz hand, that will be still kind of winnable for the Warlock player, but,
Yeah, but
this
healing 12 is just way too much.
that's like the nail to the coffin. Anoratron making a small appearance here, but that's not enough to stop the bleeding that will come next turn. It's
Yeah.
actually lethal, so
Yeah, Mars actually had exact lethal on the board,
yeah.
even before the live tap. and Arfdota has no solutions to those minions. He will just end up dying.
Also, guys, we just got $60.
Oh my god, that
Thank
is
you very
crazy.
much, guys.
Yeah. Of course, all those donations, as you can see, will be transferred to the Child's Play Foundation, helping kids with cancer.
Well, the mech deck didn't perform so well this time. Maybe we'll see it in the round of 8 if Arfdota will win this match at all. But Warrior is making a strong appearance in this tournament.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it is one of the most popular classes, along with Warlock and Paladin. And we've seen Warrior and Paladin already performing very well. Warlock, not so much so far. I mean,
Yep.
we haven't seen any handlocks. We have
Well,
seen a lot of aggressive Warlocks, but they haven't.
To be
been
fair, they
performing
have
as well.
been banned all the time.
Yeah, I mean, Warlock gets banned too, often enough, but when we see Warlock getting played, then it doesn't really perform that well.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. But I still think that Arfdota could have saved that Hobgoblin for some later turns. I think that might have been the push that he needed
It was
to
a
win this
risky
game.
gamble, that's for sure. He thought that the Hobgoblin will not get dealt with, and yeah, he was wrong.
Maybe also coining out the second Undertaker on turn 1 would be better.
That was, definitely a lot of different ways to play this deck.
Which is fine. I really like that the game is developing in such a way that there's no clear way of playing your own deck. You have so many different ways to actually make the plays and commit some different
Yeah,
games.
people
game
always
plan.
say that those aggressive Warlock decks are kind of no-brainer decks.
Yeah.
But as we see, there are a lot of lines of play that people would do differently. And yeah, I mean, some end up being very rewarding, some end up being punishing. And Arfdota maybe did one or two like plays that end up costing him the game there.
That's true, that's true. Well, we'll be still seeing at least 2 more games between those two guys, and Arfdota will be choosing his own warrior against Amaz warrior. So there will be a mirror match, but we are still not sure which kind of warrior is Arfdota bringing. Maybe he thought something new.
Maybe another mech deck.
It's a mech warrior.
Mech warrior.
That was one of my favorite games in the 90s.
Yeah, good old mech warrior. I never really liked mechs. I don't know.
Really? Yeah, you're weird then. It was I just loved mechs in my childhood. It's like,
Yeah, in Hearthstone they are awesome. I agree.
yup.
Anyway, yeah, Arfdota will choose the warrior deck for this next matchup. I mean, Hunter probably is going to be an aggressive Hunter, and that's
Probably.
not something you want to bust out against the control warrior. It's kind of like running into a counter.
Well,
So he
Amaz
will
has a
try
great
his-
lineup against Arfdota decks, right? He has Priest and Warrior, which are kinda a nemesis for the aggressive decks.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of Priest from the players. Priest only being brought to the table by 3 players, and Amaz, obviously famous for his Priest, bringing it to this tournament as well. Yeah, I was expecting actually a little bit more Priest play, to be fair. Because with the addition of Shrinkmeister and Vol'jin, I thought it would be a way more popular class. But it doesn't seem that way today.
Yeah, we have some 3 priests actually.
Yeah,
That's
only
not so
3.
much.
Anyway, we are jumping right into the game right now. Arfdota versus Amaz, and yeah, good luck to both those players. Let's see who is the better warrior.
Bomb Blobber in Amaz opening hand. So he's another player being bringing the Bomb Blobber into warrior deck building choices. It's a fine 5-drop, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in any class that can set up a board in a way where Bomb Blobber RNG gets reduced or narrowed down, then Bomb Blobber is going to be a great card.
It's also a great enabler for execute if you really need it. It's like a additional taskmaster.
Yeah, but that's kind of not how you really want
Well,
to use it.
it's
But
still
if
an
you
option.
need to, then yeah, that's true. So yeah, I mean, both those players' hands are a little bit slow. I mean, Acolyte of Pain and Crew Taskmaster definitely gives the aggressive edge to Arfdota here. Acolyte of Pain being drawn for Amaz, also great synergy with the Deathbite for sure.
Do you think that Arfdota will risk and play... no, he didn't. Okay. I just wanted to ask if he will coin out the Acolyte of Pain to follow up with Taskmaster, but he didn't do this because there's a threat of Fury Warx that will just easily deal with the Acolyte of Pain, drawing you just one card, and that's not enough in the mirror match when you want to get card advantage by abusing Acolyte of Pain.
Oh, we see right now Acolyte of Pain being dropped already, and this is also a risky play in this matchup because if it gets dealt with in one shot, you only get one card off of that Acolyte, and that's usually not what you want in Warrior. Usually you want to enable it with something like Taskmaster or Whirlwind effect, and
usually that
want
costs
to
you a
get
game
cards.
if you just draw one card from the Acolyte of Pain when it comes to mirror matches.
Yeah, exactly. You want the maximum amount of options in your hand off of that Acolyte, and if the less cards you draw from Acolyte, the more likely you are to lose actually, because you don't draw the right answers.
Look at Troxor in Arfdota's hand. That's one of the best legendaries in the GVG set.
Yeah, I don't know if he plays Troxor or Dr. Bloom, or maybe both, but Troxor is definitely one of the strongest legendaries for sure. Gives you that much more protection from spells, much like Lothep would give you protection from spells. So definitely a strong legendary in that department. But yeah, I mean, something has to be cut if you want to play Troxor, so
Maybe Baron
he
Geddon.
doesn't play Dr. Bloom instead.
Or he just plays both and then did cut the Baron Geddon and Gorhole in some cases.
Yeah. Definitely a lot of ways to build Warrior at the moment, and that's the beautiful thing about Hearthstone and about more cards getting released. With that new expansion, there's so many different options to build your deck.
I love it.
And all of them are viable.
Yep. That's the cool thing about Hearthstone when you compare it to other TCGs that are being played, you know, in real life. In most metagames that are seen in other games, they're like maximum 3, maybe 2 decks that are the top tier, and they are bringing the metagame to the table. But in Hearthstone, actually every single class has a really great deck to make some impact on the metagame. Now it's even Paladin.
Yeah, and there's so many ways that you can build decks, and I mean, it's also bringing some kind of unexpected factor to the table, because there is no like standard deck list anymore for any deck with the addition of GVG, so people can always get surprised.
Shield Block Shield Slam here will be the option, or he will sacrifice the Taskmaster? I don't think so.
Yeah, we've been talking about it though, like about using Shield Slam on those minions, like Shield Maiden, that are not high impact legendaries.
They're still a big threat though, so I think it's a correct choice.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely. It puts the warrior in a tough spot if he's facing a Shield Maiden, because it's a threat that is not as good as like a Ragnaros or something like that, but it's also too big to ignore.
True, I agree here. Troxor might be a great play here, because there's no easy way of dealing with that creature without using any spell.
Arfdota decides to go for that Shield Maiden though, into Armor Smith, just getting a lot of armor. And yeah, I mean, the Shield Maiden will be dealt with by Deathbite.
Or Shield Slam. But I think he will go with the Deathbite here.
Yeah, even enabling his Acolyte in the process, that is really good for Amaz right now.
And then the Bomb Blobber will deal with the Armor Smith, which deals exactly the amount of damage that he needs.
He could actually go for the Bomb Blobber first, and if he hits the Shield Maiden, then he can attack the Armor Smith with the
Yep,
Deathbite,
that's true.
getting less damage.
Oh yeah, good choice here. But he damages his own Bomb Blobber, but it's not a big factor.
Yeah, in this matchup it doesn't really matter if your Bomb Blobber is at 2 health or 3 health, except if
True.
Baron Geddon hits the board. So right now, Acolyte of Pain getting dealt with. How will Arfdota follow this up? Sludge Bash and Armor Up, it seems to be the choice. Just armoring up constantly armor is such an important factor in this matchup, as we've seen before when D2 played against Neria previous game. Yeah, just getting the additional health is so important to survive those threats long term.
You're absolutely right, but now it's a really tough turn for Arfdota. How can he build the board without losing the board control next turn? Like Sludge Belcher might be okay, but it's not a high impact card, and you can't really follow up and use the free mana efficiently.
Yeah, but the problem also is that you don't want to get out your legendaries too early, because then they will just be dealt with, and yeah, didn't provide any advantage.
Slam. That card made up a comeback here.
Yeah, Slam has definitely been doing work for Amaz. Slam was with Slam he was able to kill the Hobgoblin in the previous game. And now Slam provides a very good trade with that Swamp Lover. Drawing a card in the process is also very useful, obviously. And Dr. Boom hits the board for Amaz. Definitely
Do you
something.
use the Brawl here?
Yeah, I mean, Brawl is actually pretty useful, I would say. Because the Dr. Boom is very unlikely to survive this one. Only 25% chance that Dr. Boom survives this.
He opts... I don't know. Well, you can... If he goes with sheep, that doesn't make any sense, I think. Because if you follow up with a sheep, then you want to play the Brawl anyway? No, that makes no sense.
The only reasonable place here that I see is either playing Brawl or Sylvanas. If you play the Sylvanas, you can set up an even better Brawl. But Brawling right now is definitely not bad either.
But he didn't opt to attack first, so he wants to kill the bomb if the bomb survives. Oh look, the Sludge survived. And
and both bombs hitting the face. Wow, that was a crazy Brawl.
And it's actually a huge thing that the taunt is being left on the board.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the taunt will protect your
Sheep?
health, or your just your legendary. I don't know. Like, there's not really much you want to protect at this moment because you have enough health, so you don't really need the taunt for your hero. And also, there's no relevant minions right now.
Well, the sheep could have been spared and left in the hand, I think. Doesn't really achieve much, and if there would be some way of dealing 1 damage directly to her, it will kill your own slime anyway. And it's also an enabler for Grommash from her opponent.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting that he played that sheep. Maybe he played that sheep just so he could play his own Grommash and enable it with it.
Yeah.
So I think that's the reasoning behind that. Or just to like make Amaz's play for this turn maybe a little bit worse, because whatever minion he can play, it will get attacked by sheep most likely, and then might die to the sheep.
What is also worth noticing is that neither of the players have Alexstrasza in their hands.
Now, do you see that? I mean, the sheep was on the board, and Amaz could have played sheep maybe in this situation, but he decided not to because of the threat of the sheep.
The danger is real.
Ragnaros hits the board, putting some pressure on Amaz.
Oh look, a
chipping
second
away
explosive
the
sheep.
rest of the armor, and now, however, Amaz has the right solution, killing the sheep, enabling the execute.
Now the sheep has well been a downside for Arfdota.
Yeah, that was like it backfired a little bit.
Look, Alexstrasza going down. Do you
Yeah,
use
that
it?
is definitely a very good draw for Arfdota here. He can, after playing Alexstrasza, he will drop down Amaz, hopefully low enough for a couple of weapon swings and eventually Grommash to finish the game. He wants to end it quickly, but maybe he wants to set up a bigger board earlier.
I think he shouldn't have been played the Ragnaros at him before. He could have just gone with Trogzor.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Ragnaros is also actually a minion that you want to play after your Alexstrasza, because then, yeah, the Alexstrasza will get more value because it deals more damage pretty much.
Exactly.
And Trogzor is so resilient to stuff like Execute, for example. Like,
Well, he's not resilient to that, but he will spawn a 3-5 minion, so
Exactly,
that's enough. And are you aware that I'm not sure that the new spawned Burritrogger will proc from the execute
No, it
an
won't.
example? Oh, okay. That would be insane.
that would be insane, but unfortunately it doesn't.
What now?
Oh, that's an important draw. He is able to play the Gromash next turn with his Taskmaster, so right now he will set up the board to get lethal as soon as possible.
Yeah, the fireworks being used to chip away at the armor, making it less likely for Sheet Slam to be relevant, and also obviously setting up for a better lethal.
So Amaz doesn't have a choice here but to use the Ragnar's, I think. If he attacks the Alexstrasza with his face, he's dangerously low. He doesn't have any taunt in his hand, so he can't really play around Arfdota's Gromash if he has one. And well, he can also risk it with Brawl just to kill the Alexstrasza with a 50% chance.
Amaz can take the risk of either brawling or using Ragnaros to kill the Alexstrasza. What he needs to do right now is probably armor up and shield slam, and then trade it off with the 5-5.
That might be the safest play here.
Hmm?
That might be the safest play here.
That is the safest play, definitely, but is it also the play to win, if we can call it that way? Because sometimes you just have to take a risk in order to like get back in the game in a big way.
And I think that's the Ragnar's play, right?
Yeah, that would be the Ragnaros play for sure.
He goes with the safer option, which is kinda sad. And he didn't play the sheep.
Oh, this is an interesting card from Arfdota. We haven't seen that one yet.
Crush.
I think. Crush. Definitely a very interesting card. I mean, what my thoughts about Crush are that you don't really need it because you have Execute and Shield Slam to deal with those big minions already. But if you actually think you need more than just the Shield Slam and Execute, then Crush is definitely a good card to play.
That's a really weird move. What do you think?
What do you mean, attacking there with the Gromash?
Yeah, why didn't you just opt to play the Trog and play around Alexstrasza?
Well, I guess it's just taking a risk here, and it's paid off right now.
Well, there's no execute in Amaz's hand, so he will have to go with either second time with his with the option of playing a rag.
Pretty sure we're gonna see a brawl here. Shield blocking first to see if he maybe draws an execute.
Nope.
No, he doesn't. Still possible to just play the brawl.
That's why I didn't like the Gromash play. If the Brawl kills the Gromash, then Arfdota doesn't have a way to kill him next turn. If he would opt to play the Trog, this will play around any spells, and in result,
brawl and Taskmaster survives.
Yeah. But in the end, would just generate more points of damage in the upcoming turns.
What do you think actually about like that brawl was kind of risky. A 33% chance on the Gromash surviving just loses the game outright for Amaz. He could have
Played
decreased
the
the chance by
Taskmaster
playing
first.
sheep first.
Or maybe play Taskmaster and kill the other Taskmaster, but yeah, ship would be definitely better.
Yeah, I mean with the sheep he would have had an increased chance that Gromash dies.
You're right. That was risky, and he could have lowered the chances of that
Well,
happening.
Yeah, the risk paid off, and Arfdota doesn't have lethal here, but he still has the Trogzor. And that Trogzor is actually not that great at the moment, because Amaz doesn't have to rely on spells anymore. He has those
Yep.
minions right now that he wants to
Exactly.
play.
And he can easily deal with that Trogzor if he wants to pay his health. But I think that's the moment when you use Rag.
This is actually, if he goes for the rag, he has a 50% chance of just losing the game, because we see Deathbite in hand right now. Deathbite plus Troxor attack is lethal. Therefore, yeah, Amaz either needs to get lucky with this Ragnaros, or he can deal with it in another way by using Grommash in this situation. Yeah, see right now, Grommash Taskmaster being able to trade the Troxor, that's definitely a safe play here.
Alright. And Arfdota is still off lethal. Oh, 5 points of armor. Chips down with the mighty Gorehole.
Oh man, this is definitely an interesting development right now.
If only Arfdota would have played the Trog before the Grommash, he would have already won this game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we talked about Troxor being a better play than Ragnaros, and I definitely agree with that.
Now he has to deal with the board, but still play to win. So I think that he might just play Sylvanas and Weapon to deal damage and ignore the Grommash.
Oh my god, that animation of Grommash just getting crushed, stomped into the ground. I haven't seen that one yet.
Kick it in the face.
That looks pretty cool.
With each turn, Amaz has a chance to draw into Alexstrasza, and he had 5 cards left in his deck. So there's a big chance that if Arfdota doesn't kill Amaz in the upcoming next turn, Amaz will just be out of reach if he draws into Alexstrasza.
Arfdota doesn't have anything to pretty much kill Amaz outright anymore. Grommash is gone.
Yeah. Yeah. And, well, that might be a really... Okay.
Oh, he draws the solution for the Ragnaros though. Oh!
Well,
No,
you can go for a 50-50.
Oh, will he do it? Oh man.
Oh.
That is actually the play that Arfdota might need to do in order to win.
Yes, I agree that might be the correct play here.
He doesn't maybe have to do it.
He can just play the Sylvanas and do the Deathbite, kill the Taskmaster maybe.
Oh man.
But then, if Amaz goes with double sheep and whatever,
Yeah.
then it's kinda...
Yeah, you have to. If you're planning on playing Sylvanas to steal the Ragnaros, you should definitely kill it off immediately, because then, yeah, the Sylvanas might not get the Ragnaros because Amaz can play additional minions.
I think he goes for the 50-50. Oh man, he goes for the 50-50.
Will it pay off?
And...
Oh man! And will it face? That is the important question right now. That's another 50-50 that's relevant. He doesn't.
Nope, he doesn't. And Amaz has an answer. No, he doesn't.
But he draws a shield block that allows Amaz to survive a lot more damage.
I think he used both shield slams, but if he didn't and he can draw into one, then he can take back the Ragnaros.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
I'm almost sure that he did use both.
Yeah, I don't quite remember. With so many in a mirror matchup, it's actually hard to tell who used how many shield slams and whatnot. But yeah, definitely shield block is gonna be played here. Could maybe also draw into execute to deal with the Ragnaros.
Well, no, there's no other play. He has to play the shield block first. Wait. Oh no, he's 1 mana off. He could, if Sylvanas would have costed 5 mana, he could have gone Sylvanas, double ship, whirlwind to steal the rag.
Oh, you're right. That is a nifty play for sure. I mean,
oh man!
My goodness! Big
Game
Hunter, that is
Hunter
a huge draw.
from the
wow.
top. He had 33% of chance to draw the Big Game Hunter here.
What?
He's 3 cards left.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, Amaz would have said he has a 50% chance of drawing Big Game Hunter.
Yeah, it's
You
either
draw it or
yes
you
or
don't.
no, yes or no, right?
Man, Amaz. Getting back into the game in a big way.
Now he will draw the Alexstrasza for sure. Nope! It's an execute, but there's Harrison Jones which will draw into Alexstrasza soon enough.
There
There
it
it
is.
is. So Arfdota will probably not win this game anymore.
There's no way. I mean, look at this hand from Arfdota. He's no more threats at all. He really relied on that Ragnaros hitting face there, but even then, Amaz had the shield block to get him out of lethal range. Oh my goodness.
Sludge Belcher, that's not what he was looking for. He has to use the execute, play the Belcher, and just armor up. But Amaz at 16 points of armor and 3 points of health, he can just ignore whatever Arfdota will play on the board. Well, you can just play Alexstrasza here.
Yeah, the question is, do you heal yourself or do you damage the enemy? It doesn't really matter, I
You
think.
can heal yourself.
In this situation, you have so much health, then...
What now?
Well, Arfdota doesn't have many. I mean, he doesn't have many cards left in his deck also. So there will be fatigue for both players if Amaz doesn't kill him soon enough. So I think you heal yourself because you still have like 19 points of health. If you heal yourself, you'll be above starting point.
Yeah, I think you're right there. However, if you plan on doing that, then you don't actually have to play Alexstrasza here. You can just go for
Yep.
something like Sylvanas.
Mm-hmm.
That is also a
I have no
possibility.
time.
Yeah, he will choose Sylvanas and probably armor up, I would say.
Maybe play one sheep.
He will keep the sheep for the combination with Whirlwind.
Oh man!
Iron Juggernaut! Wow, that is a card that I was not expecting. None of those warrior players has brought it to the table yet, I think.
Yeah,
And-
that's a surprise. And Amaz will have a 50% chance to actually draw the 9 and deal 10 damage to his own face.
Oh, I saw a thread on Reddit actually that said that if the mine is the last card, it will not get drawn.
You sure? Oh, look, it's 10 damage to the face.
There is 10 damage. Boom goes the dynamite. And Amaz is out of cards. Last card being drawn is Shield Slam.
Well, he still has Alexstrasza. He can play Alexstrasza, heal himself, and kill the Iron Juggernaut.
Yeah, definitely. And Arfdota has no solution against it, Alexstrasza, so it will take a while. Well, but to be fair, Amaz doesn't have to play the Shield Slam. He can also just go for the double sheep clear with the Whirlwind and keep the Shield Slam for something bigger.
Are you sure that's something bigger in the deck, in Arfdota's deck?
Yeah, I guess you have to use the Shield Slam. Also because the shield will start getting chipped away by fatigue too. So
And
maybe you
also
have
the
to use-
explosive ships can act like 1/1s, just to attack and chip some armor.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They are still minions,
Oh, he chooses to go for the Whirlwind.
but he did use one. Oh, and then he will use the bomb level. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, the Womp Lover will apply some pressure. Much needed pressure right now because Maz is the one getting pressured right now by fatigue. But
Oh
right
man,
now-
Death Spite, that's a really huge draw.
Yeah, Arfdota though is also running out of cards, and Deathbite along with the last card in his deck are his only options to win this game. And he still has to consider that Alexstrasza is in hand for Amaz. It hasn't been
Yep.
played yet.
Still, Amaz is in a good spot.
Yeah, the Alexstrasza will heal himself back up, most likely.
He will be at 20 points of life, and there's so much time to actually deal 34 damage to the opponent, so I don't think he has to be like fearing of losing this game unless Arfdota has some really has a really big surprise.
There's Armorsmith.
That's
That
the last
is
card.
Not what you want to draw as your last card when you're out
Yeah.
of options. And right now, Amaz has enough health to survive the fatigue war. And Alexstrasza will on the back of Alexstrasza, he will win this game for sure.
A really close game, and some crucial decisions here made by Arfdota were costing him the game, I think. So maybe some pressure by his first appearance on a big tournament, but anyway, a really exciting match to watch.
Yeah, I mean, Arfdota definitely not a bad player. He's doing a lot of plays correctly, but yeah, just I mean, one or two mistakes here and there can cost him the game, and those are not necessarily mistakes. Those are just different kinds of play. So other players,
it's
like
also
those plays might have also been rewarding at some point. So
of course, and we also have to take into account that we are seeing both players' hand.
yeah, that's right.
So
definitely, we don't want to take anything away from Arfdota's skill, and he's definitely a solid player, as we said before.
3 points of fatigue, that's not enough for Amaz to lose this game anymore. He has 12, 15, 16 points of damage. That's lethal next turn. Oh no, it's not, because Arfdota will armor up.
Yeah, but even then, Amaz still has enough health to survive 2 more fatigue stacks. That was a really close game, though, in the end.
Really close game, and if only Amaz would have used the Alexstrasza earlier on to maybe heal less points of health, it might be different then. Might have been. But it's not. Amaz won the game. An exhausting game for Amaz, as we could have seen his reaction after closing this match, and Amaz is up 2-0. So it's 8-0 for Team Archon in general, and maybe he can actually pull off the 3-0.
Yeah, the predicted 9-0 sweep by Archon in the top 16 matchups is definitely a possibility here. Arfdota, his last deck that he has to put all his hopes into is going to be Hunter, and Hunter we've seen struggle against Warrior time and time again.
Well, maybe it's the Savannah Hyman deck with inclusion of some new minions from GVG, so maybe it's a more controlish one, maybe with Ragnarus. We have seen already that, so we'll have to wait to see the deck, but we are not saying that Arfdota is out yet. He has still a chance to make a reverse sweep here and make a 3-0 with the Hunter, and that's still possible. Hunter was one of the best classes, and maybe he's not so much represented in this tournament. Only 5 players brought the Hunter in this current environment. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we've actually seen Firebet 3-0 with Hunter, right?
Yeah, actually, and he was playing a different iteration of Hunter. It's kind of like a mix of the Control Hunter with a Undertaker Hunter. He was playing Deadly Shots, Hunter's Marks, and of course Undertaker with the whole array of Death Rattle minions, but he still had the Savannah Hymanes and also a Ragnarus, if I remember it correctly.
Yeah, it was definitely a very innovative build, and that's what you have to do when you cannot just play old decks in a meta game that is completely new, because those new decks will just end up being better than the old ones. Therefore, you have to like innovate your strategy to adapt to the new decks, and Firebet is just what that. Firebet did just that and managed to actually 3-0 with Hunter, which is, in my opinion, unexpected. But with this kind of build, it's definitely possible.
Sure.
Many unconventional cards were played by Firebet in that Hunter. Ragnaros as well. Like, that was big. And yeah, I mean, we will see what kind of Hunter Arfdota will bring to the table. We don't know it yet, but we are about to find out in game number 3 between Amaz and Arfdota.
And we'll be starting off really soon. We already see the mulligans here, so we know that Arfdota has Savannah Hymanes in his deck, which can be really important against Warrior. But Shield Maiden is actually a good response to Savannah Hymane.
Yeah, Shield Maiden offers a body that can just straight up trade with Hymane, and especially it's good when you have also have Ironbeak Owl to silence the Hymane before. so that's always nice. It's always nice to have a shield.
But we have seen every single card from Amaz and there was no silence.
Oh, you're right.
Yep,
Actually, but Amaz does have, for example, double sheep, so
he can
that-
deal with the hyenas,
Yeah.
with the sheeps.
Exactly. Imagine like a death bite into sheep. So the Highmane gets cleared by the death bite.
Oh yeah, that's super powerful.
And then-
Well, then it depends which card was played first.
No, I mean it doesn't really matter because as long as you play the sheep after the hyena,
Yeah, you have to.
after the Highmane. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
So that's actually a great way to clear Highmanes.
A really crucial draw with that Fury Warx that will deal with the Undertaker.
Yeah, that is the most important card you can have in this matchup for sure, and Amaz got it, so he's definitely looking strong in this matchup. Also with Shield Block and Shield Maiden, getting a lot of health.
Do you like the Glaivezooka at all?
I am not sold on the Glaivezooka yet, and especially if you play double Glaive. Definitely a good way to apply some more pressure in the early game. Yeah, that kind of pressure is kind of irrelevant when you're facing this much armor from the warrior.
I agree. I still like the Eagle Hornborn more than the Glaivezooka.
Yeah, it seems like Hunter just has to adapt a little bit more to play more high impact cards for the late game, because it seems like the early aggression, at least against the current iteration of warriors, with especially if they play both Shield Maiden and Armor Smith, then it's
Yeah.
completely unwinnable.
You have to play Freezing Trap and just ignore the Acolyte of Pain. Oh, he doesn't do that.
Yeah, giving Amaz 2 cards here, that is definitely something Amaz is happy about. Giving him more solutions. He already has Alexstrasza in hand as well, so even if he drops low enough, then armor will be able to help him to survive the crucial turns that he needs to ramp up enough mana crystals to be able to play Alexstrasza and just take control from the game from there.
Well, Amaz has a weird turn. He doesn't really want to shield block because he has Shield Slam already in hand and he won't be able to combo the Shield Slam with Shield Maiden until turn 7. But he does it anyway. Oh, a second Shield Slam. Never mind then.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much damage coming in from Arfdota anyway. You most likely just play the low tap to get the big threat on the board.
Yeah, I think so.
What is the trap, by the way? Do you know?
What?
The trap for the hunter? I think-
It's a Freezing Trap.
Oh, it's a freezing trap. Yeah, so freezing trap will definitely also be an important factor in this matchup. All the minions that we see for Amaz are a little bit on the expensive side, so definitely not something you want to freeze. With a big game hunter, however, you could just play it and
Yeah,
then
you just play it.
trigger the freezing trap with that.
Oh man, that's unlucky. Captain's Parrot.
I've got the beast in my stomach.
Oh my god. Yeah, that Captain Sparrow is definitely not what you want to get off of that web spinner. Oh man.
I would like to see the low tap the turn before, because not only it did fit the curve better, but also it prevented any spells being played on turn 5, and we both know that Warrior has actually, apart from Belcher and Bomb Blobber, he has no 5 mana creatures, so it would make more sense to use the low tap on turn 5. But right now he has to deal with the creatures that are on board, and he doesn't he doesn't play around Black Knight here.
No, I mean, he saw Amaz's whole deck, he didn't see a Black
Yeah.
Knight in there, therefore, obviously you can do this. But
But man,
yeah,
how
I mean,
you can win against a warrior that just armor ups with every single card?
that is the problem that Hunter has, actually. He relies on the enemy not getting too much health, so he can just finish him off by constant uses of hero power and stuff like that. But Warrior has, with all those armor gain spells and minions, and the hero power, it just gets out of range from potential Hunter
Yeah.
burst, yeah, too easily. And Hunter doesn't have any card draw whatsoever. We've seen KitKats, for example, play.
Coldmaster?
No, he played the Jeeves, right?
Oh yeah, Jeeves.
He played a very bursty aggro hunter with Jeeves, so you can have some card draw in that regard. But even then, I don't think it's enough to deal with all this armor from the warrior.
Freezing Trap bounces back the Shield Maiden into Amaz's hand, so it can be used later on to gain additional points of armor.
Yeah, that is actually a great thing, and a great thing for Amaz, and
He has-
bad news for Arfdota.
Well, he has no easy way of activating his both shield slams right now, but I think you just go here and play your Taskmaster and Acolyte of Pain, and that's it. Or maybe Taskmaster and Bomb Lobber.
Yeah, looks like it's going for that play. We're hitting with low step. That's softening it up for a potential attack from
Feign
the-
Death. Oh wow.
Oh, that's an interesting card.
So he's playing Sylvanas too, I presume.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of death rattles already in the hunter deck, so Feign Death, if you have 2 or even 3 death rattle minions on the board, can be really, really strong.
And we don't really know which traps is he playing, but if he doesn't play any other traps than Freezing Trap, then the Mad Scientist is just a 2-2 with Death Rattle that does nothing. But he thinks about the Feign Death, so we can assume he has some different traps too. That's a tough spot, what to do. Without knowing what exact cards he has in his deck, we can't really calculate.
It seems like he doesn't have enough traps in his deck anymore. Yeah, we see
Oh,
no
yeah,
trap
that-
has been spawned.
Well,
But
that's
if he has something
unfortunate.
like a Savannah High Main, then Feign Death is also really strong there. Just 2 mana for 2/2s, it's pretty good.
And both of them are beasts.
So, yeah. But Amaz still looking very strong here. Shield Maiden getting him up to 19 health total. Oh man, and Arfdota has a whole bunch of nothing in his hand. Kill command can't even do anything right now. Yeah, this is looking grim for Arfdota. It seems like
Yeah.
Amaz and Archon Gaming just going for the clean sweeps.
Seems like so.
Definitely strong performance by all three players from Archon. Very impressive, I have to say.
Very sad for Arfdota because he actually didn't have a great draw with the Hunter, so he kinda struggled. And now Amaz has a full array of whatever will be dropped from Hunter. He can deal with it easily. He has 2 Shield Slams, he has Alexstrasza. He can even play Sylvanas and Shield Slam his own Sylvanas to steal whatever. And double kill command.
Double kill command is what you like to see, usually, but not if you have a board like this.
Feign Death activates on your own Death Rattles, right?
Yeah, exactly. It only triggers friendly death rattles.
There's nothing you can do here. Nothing. You can just play kill commands and deal 6 damage to face. But what's your game plan then?
Yeah, and Arfdota just hovering over all his cards. Maybe he's trying to find the concede button. Spoiler alert, it's on the bottom
Ah.
right.
Oh. Well, Hunter getting wrecked. I bet Twitch that is happy with that outcome.
Oh man, yeah, it's kind of rough for Arfdota. I mean, he paid $180 or something to get into this tournament, and already being eliminated in the first round is kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah,
but at least
I hope
he got to play it. He got to play in it. He got to show off his decks, so that's
True,
also
true.
nice. And yeah, I mean,
Well, let's hope he will win some qualifiers in the upcoming tournaments, and I would love to see more decks from Arfdota because he, well, obviously loves to use the new cards as he used in every single deck of his choice was based around some new cards. So really cool, and I really like this tournament because it's completely different from whatever we have seen before, and it brings a fresh, new perspective to the game. And well, we'll see how it goes with the next matches. Amaz winning 3-0 against Arfdota from Canada, and it's a really strong performance from Team Archon, as Ecop said before, 9-0 in general in the round of 16. So every single player from Team Archon competing in this tournament is in the round of 8. So we'll be seeing a lot of Team Archon in the upcoming matches. We'll have every single quarterfinal being played after the 2 more matches that we have left in the round of 16. So that's it for that game. We'll be waiting for, in the upcoming match will be, oh, that's a really interesting one.
Savage versus Gara, right?
Yeah, that's Savage versus Gara. One of my 2 favorite players in the Hearthstone scene. Both of them are really innovative and are known for their deck building skills, and play-wise they are also excellent. Gara almost making no mistakes in every single game I have watched him play, and really looking forward to it. We'll make a quick break. By quick I mean 10 minutes.
10 minutes is quick.
Yeah, for us that's quick. And we'll see you guys in a bit. So enjoy the break, make yourself some tea, and also read about the donations that you can do under our stream. There's every single information that you need to make the donation. Take a part in the raffle, so you can win a keyboard signed by TSM, or the headset signed by Team 2G, and just help the children, guys.
Yeah, helping them kids and win some goodies at the same time, that's value right there.
Okay, see you guys in a bit.